Okay, what I want to show you here is just a few little things to make the picture look more like art and less squashed, and also make the blend look like this. This picture is absolutely perfect. It's stunning. You can see it. This is central. This picture looks absolutely fantastic, and they're blended beautifully in together. Now, if you look at this picture, these lines, they're far too, they're not blended enough, they're not stretched enough. They're sharp here. And you can see, if we move this, the whole picture looks a bit squashed from this side to this side. And it's sort of, it doesn't look like a piece of art, it doesn't look like a poster, it looks like four pictures have been rammed together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through this and see if we can make it look a little bit sort of finer across the side and make it look like this, which looks amazing. So I'm just going to close this down and we'll take these images off a minute. Which leaves us just with the templates. Let me just save that next to the one I'm about to work on, 66. And now we have the same pictures here. You'll just have to bear with me while I size everything up. So we always start with the one pointing towards the right hand edge. So that's there. And then we have this image, which was over here. We have this image, which I think was the one that went here. We'll just, again, you'll have to bear with me while I size this up. Almost there now. Make sure that doesn't distort. So it keeps the proportions. Now, another thing that sometimes can be done is we can stretch it right down here and right up there like that, or like that even, and that looks rubbish. So if we have a little bit of a border, a margin around the edges, that will look really good. So we'll just do that, and then bring the last picture in, which I've got here, which is the one we used on the other one, which is that there. Now I think we're going to have to just bring the canvas size up a little bit. Let's bring it to 85. 85. And as long as it's under 90 on the width, it's okay. But 85 is the biggest I like to stretch it. We can't stretch the DPs, but we can stretch these if we need a bit more space. So let's just see if we need that space. So I'm just going to fill that in black. There we go. Now we can always crop this down if this is too big. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room to play with. So I'll just bring this down quickly like this. Make sure it's not distorted and fit at the top and bottom. If we have a big picture, we can always stretch it up, but it's got to be touching the top and bottom if it's a nice small picture like this one. So I'm just going to bring this one in. We'll bring the gradient across like this, as you've seen in previous videos. Now with this, we don't want a really tight blend. We want it nice. If we want more white around the sides, all you do is you get the lasso tool, the square lasso tool up here. Marquee tool, lasso tool, and we just bring this down and then make sure on this layer, and then you just go Control T or transform and then you can stretch the white or the black, depending on the colour, right across. So we click there, and now you can see we can get the gradient tool here, and we've got the black gradient tool up here, so you can see it's the gradient, and then just pull this right across like that. And now that looks absolutely phenomenal. In a way, before it looked squashed. So now let's just do this on the other side of that. We don't need to as it happens on here, but just so you can see. We'll pull that across. And then just gradient that. And turn that to screen. And now we'll pull this one in. Sorry, wrong layer. Which layer is it? It's this layer, layer 1 down here. Pull that in. And now you can see those fit perfectly. So let's work on this edge a minute. I keep getting the wrong layer. You'll have to bear with me. So this, let's gradient this layer as well. So we're just going to stretch this one a tiny bit more. Now you can't stretch this too much because you don't want to distort his mouth. But if we just stretch this, it will give us more grey. And then we can gradient that in like that. And we can just do that. Turn it to screen. Then we go to this image here, which is layer 1. Now I've finally learned. And we just go to the marquee tool, the square lasso tool even, and then we just pick the white up, pull the white across there. So we've got a nice lot of white, and then we gradient that in. And now if we just shifty things around a bit here, we have something that looks much more like a piece of art. We'll move Theatre of Fashion watermark into the middle, and you can see that same pictures. I haven't done anything to anything. Same pictures that we had on the other one, but everything now looks absolutely stunning, and the whole picture can breathe. Now I have made it bigger. And could I have done it if I hadn't made it bigger? Possibly, because what you would do, what I would do, is I would just bring, I think it's layer 2, is it? I should know by now. Which layer is it? It's layer 4. I could bring layer 4 back in, right in like that, gradient that off, and crop it down to something like that. Now that, I'm guessing, canvas size is 75. It's not as good, but you can still see the gradient on this edge, and the gradient on this edge is better. And it looks like it's been thought about. It looks like it can breathe. Anyway, so that's that. If I wanted to step back, and you can see the big version here. Let's see if I can step back. And there you go. That's the big version. And that gives you an idea of both types. And that's what we're looking for. Something absolutely fantastic. See down here, beautiful blended edge, and it looks like a poster or a piece of finished art. If you have any more questions, please let me know, and I'll do another video for you in a minute. Hang on.